UCLA has some problems when it comes to racist students. And just recently, there were these flyers posted around campus that said pretty horrible things about Asian students. Let's take a look at the video.
This is a photo of it, typed on a piece of paper left on the banner. We've blurred the offensive words and image. Asian women are blank, white boy worshipping blanks.
Personally, for me, as an Asian woman, a Vietnamese woman, it hurt me because I actually got, all my life, I've been stereotyped as that way myself.
As vice president of the VSU, Hung wrote a statement to members.
It's devastating because we're on UCLA, a diverse, educated campus, and to have these like schoolyard remarks posted quite childishly is just something that makes people feel unsafe.
The message was taken down yesterday, hours after it was posted, but it was front page news on campus.
Okay, so now this is a big scandal, understandably, at UCLA, and they're saying that it is kind of sexist, obviously, right, and racist. But I want to clarify something here. The women there are scared, they should be, etc. It's all terribly wrong. I hope they find the guys who did it. But don't assume that it was white people who did it. I think it's very, very likely that it was Asian guys who did it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, Asian males, right. So let's just keep that real. I mean, because every article I read on this is like, oh my God, can you believe this racial attack against the Vietnamese? It was probably done by Vietnamese. Okay, I don't know which ethnicity, and it's not fair to say probably Vietnamese, but very likely Asian males wrote that, right? So keep it real.
So
it doesn't make it any better, don't get me wrong, just keep it in perspective.
It's strange because I feel like a lot of the hate toward Asians in these schools revolves around jealousy. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, my mind wanders back to Alexandra Wallace. I mean, how could you not think of her when you're doing a story about UCLA and racism or sexism toward Asian students? And it was jealousy. Like, she couldn't handle the fact that all of these really smart, educated students got into a great university. Of course, they're all around you, and I think it has a lot to do with that. Now, in this case, you're probably right. I don't know who did it. No one knows who did it. So it is based on a lot of speculation. But for the sake of remembering a hilarious video, let's go back to Alexandra Wallace's video that made her basically drop out of school.
You will always see old Asian people running around this apartment complex every weekend. That's what they do. They don't teach their kids to fend for themselves. You know what they don't also teach them is their manners. I'll be like deep into my studying, into my political science theories and arguments and all that stuff, getting it all down, like typing away furiously, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, when I'm about to like reach an epiphany, over here from somewhere, oh, Jing Chong Ling Long Ting Tong. Oh.
I'm not laughing with her, I'm laughing at her. She's just so unbelievably stupid.
Now, so that's interesting because that's also at UCLA,
yes.
Right? So obviously this is something that's going on there. And I love that she's like, just before I reached an epiphany, then they rudely interrupted her. When have you ever reached an epiphany? Like, an epiphany might have been not doing that video, right? And I love how she's like, they don't have any manners and they don't know how to fend for themselves, whereas of course she does. You just push up a little bit and that helps you to, you know, get anything you want. Okay, I mean, there's a million different problems there. But anyway, she has now left UCLA.
Yeah.
And then there was the anti-Latino graffiti there as well.
Yeah, so,
what the hell is going on here?
So there were racial slurs written at a Latino student's apartment door with spray paint. It said, "You rude, ignorant spick cunts, dirty Mexican bitch, oh, Mexamelt bitches, go eat some refried beans and shut up."
The refried beans line is really creative. First time I've ever seen it. Slash the 98th time. Like, come up with something new. Okay, so now, should you be in a panic over what's happening at UCLA? Probably not. Should they find these people, take serious action? Absolutely, right? And part of it is exactly what Anna's saying, that there are so many Asians, which is great because UCLA is a great school.
34% of the student body at UCLA is Asian.
That's funny because a friend of mine thought it was 104%. But it's 34%, so their success is now driving that kind of jealousy, bitterness, etc., and also internally to some degree. So Kim, what's your thoughts on the Vietnamese student graffiti that they suffered? You're obviously partly Vietnamese, half Vietnamese.
I'm half Vietnamese and half white.
So
and
that's perfect.
I did attend UCLA.
Okay, I can't think of a better expert on this, actually. All right, so Kim, what is the correct answer?
I hate to agree to speculation, but I think there's a very high chance that you're right. I took a Vietnamese American Studies class, and in that class there was this Vietnamese boy man college student, and
I love that description, boy
he
man.
had a really he came out with this really angry attitude, like, oh, Asian women just go for white men because they like being subservient and they're sluts and they're whores and they're just stupid, they don't know any better. First of all, you're taking away any intelligence those women might have, that they're just mindless idiots who fall in love with any white man they see. They have a choice, they didn't choose you.
Would it be an affront to your white side if you chose to date an Asian guy?
No.
Like, you see what I'm saying? It's so absurd. And second of all, 9 out of 10 times, if you hear a guy calling someone a slut, it's ironically because they're not getting laid. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Ah, those sluts. Really, are they having sex with you? No. So yeah, there's definitely that kind of built up anger. And then there's the additional offensive part that you mentioned. Oh, they're doing it to be subservient. Or it could be the exact opposite. They're doing it because they're making up their own mind and not listening to you and your
I know, God
preconceived
forbid
notions.
they think outside the box and date whoever they feel like instead of who they're supposed to date. You don't own those women, and I don't like that attitude.
I love that comment.